Hi everyone, this is May Park. I hope you guys having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how to create a one-layer card using a custom floral wreath image by mixing a few different stamp sets from Pinkfresh Studio. I'll be using the masking technique to create an illusion of depth to my images and color them with my copying markers. These are the stamp sets that I'm going to use in today's video. Floor 1, Floor 2, Sweet Treats, and Word Series Believe. I already tested out the placement of my stamping on a piece of A2 size print paper. When it comes to choosing images from different stamp sets, it's important to choose the stamps that have a similar design style or similar thickness of the outline images. For example, this Bloom and Grow stamp set also includes lots of great floral images. But these images have more thick outlines compared to the images from the other two floral stamp sets. So I don't recommend you use them together in one card design. I'm going to start by cutting my panel into 4¼ inch by 5½ inches using Timur's tone paper trimmer out of Nina Solo White 80-pound cardstock. You can stamp your images directly onto A2 size top folding white card base if you want to. I'm going to use an oval die to draw some guideline on my A2 size white panel. I'm tracing the outside of my oval die using a pencil. If you don't have an oval die, you can draw the oval shape yourself. It's okay not to be perfect because you are going to erase it eventually. Just make sure you have enough room inside the oval frame for your sentiment. I'm going to pull out the stamp from the Word Series Believe stamp set and cut it with my scissors to remove the butterfly image from the stamp. That's the beauty of clear stamps. You can bend your clear stamps or cut them apart to customize your stamps. If you don't like cutting out your stamp, you can mask off the butterfly image while stamping. Since I'm going to color my images with copying markers, I'll be using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, which is alcohol marker friendly. If you prefer less intense black outlines, you could use Memento Tuxedo Black ink for stamping. I already placed my white panel inside the mini Misty stamping tool, and I'm going to place my sentiment stamp in the middle of my panel. Then I'm inking up my stamp with the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink and closing the Misty door to stamp my sentiment onto the paper. Since I didn't get a good impression, I'm going to stamp one more time to get a nice and intense impression. I'm going to stamp my images along the guideline first. I'm also stamping the same images on post-it notes to create a mask. I'm going to cut out the image on the post-it note with my scissors. I'm cutting a couple of post-it notes at once to save my time. I recommend you cut slightly inside of the stamping line. That way you can get more perfect stamping while masking the images. I'm going to layer my masks over the stamped images on my panel, covering the images completely using Tombow removable glue tape. If you have post-it notes with a full adhesive on the back, you won't need the removable glue tape. Then I'll be stamping smaller images over my masks, positioning the images partially onto the masks. Since my stamped images have some very small leaves, I found it's very hard to cut out every single leaf out of post-it note. So I decided to use fine line masking fluid pen for the first time, as it's a great way to mask precise areas. This applicator bottle features a stainless steel dispensing tip for precise application of masking fluid. I'm going to apply some masking fluid onto my stamped images by squeezing the bottle gently. Then I'm going to dry my paper with a heat tool to speed up the drying time of masking fluid. Later, I learned that I shouldn't have used my heat tool to dry masking fluid, as the heat made the latex adhere to the paper and it was very difficult to take off. I will keep stamping the images along the oval line until I complete my own wreath image. Once my stamping is done, I'm going to peel off the fluid by pulling it gently with my fingertip. Here is how I make my mistake. I didn't wait for the masking fluid to be thoroughly dry before starting to take off. As I ruined my stamped panel, I had to start over my stamping. Lesson learned. I should have studied on how to use masking fluid before I used it. For my second try, I'm going to use a traditional way of masking like I did in the beginning of this video. Anyway, my first attempt at the masking technique using the masking fluid was not perfect. But that's not the point of this video. Even though it's embarrassing to me, I didn't want to take off the video clip as I thought you could also learn from my mistake. By the way, I'm using both baby wipes and alcohol prep pads to clean my stamps. I buy a pack of alcohol prep pads from Costco, and this pad helps me clean my stamps perfectly without any ink left. Once my stamping is done, I'm going to remove the post-it notes to reveal my finished wreath image. After erasing the pencil line with my eraser, I'm going to color my images with coping markers. I'll be using 3 shades of orange color to create a blended look on my large flower images. I'm going to apply my lightest color first and fill my flower image entirely from edge to edge. This helps saturate the paper, which allows for easier blending later. Then I'm taking my darker marker and flicking the darker color from the center of the flower out toward the edges. This leaves a darker area at the beginning of the stroke and a lighter area at the end of the stroke, making it easier to blend. Then I'm going to add medium color on top of my lighter color and pull out the darker color to blend in the areas, making sure to leave some of the lightest shade visible. The little gaps between your flicks will also help blend the next lighter color. You can always go back and add darker or lighter shades if you want to. I should have repeated blending until I get a smooth transition from light to dark, but I had to stop blending as I couldn't keep my head down for a long time as I'm having a neck pain at the moment. So for the rest of my images, I'm going to do some simple coloring without much blending. Now I'm going to turn on some music and speed up the coloring process. I'll be back soon. If you make a mistake and color outside of your images, you can remove the color by using a colorist blender. Once my coloring is done, I'm going to add some tiny dots using a fine tip of alternate artist markers to add some interest to my wreath. I'm also adding some black dots using my Sharpie pen to add more details to the background. Then I'm going to mount my colored panel onto A2 size top folding white card base with alternate glue tape. I'm finishing off my card by adding some dots using a white gel pen and heralds accents in the middle of my orange flowers. That's all for today. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you won't miss any new video from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye bye!